and why today, the world's richest cities now top the list of the least affordable places on Earth. So, what does that actually mean for the people living in them? For millions of middle-income families, it means home ownership is no longer part of the plan. In cities like Los Angeles, Sydney and New York, a large share of renters now spend about 30 to 35% of their income just keeping a roof over their heads, right above the threshold economists consider unaffordable. The average first-time homebuyer is now in their late 30s or early 40s, a full decade older than their parents were, and when the people can't afford to live where their jobs are, they stop moving for opportunity. In the US and Canada, people are leaving major cities for smaller towns, a trend economists call counter-urbanisation. And while that might sound like a good thing for regional growth, it often means the most productive cities lose the very workers that keep them running: teachers, nurses, tradespeople, hospitality staff. A locked housing market becomes a locked labour market. Productivity slows, innovation spreads more slowly, and inequality deepens. Because while renters and first-time homebuyers are falling behind, existing homeowners keep getting richer. Every year their homes gain value, not because they worked more hours or invented something new, but because scarcity made their property worth more. Globally, the total value of real estate now sits at around 3.5 times the world's annual GDP. And even for people who are lucky enough to grab onto the ladder, buying in at such elevated prices feels like a gamble. High debt, high risk, and the constant fear that one economic shock could knock everything off balance. So, is there any way to stop this? Some countries are starting to try. New Zealand launched a plan called Going for Housing Growth in 2023, which forces major city councils to zone enough land for 30 years of housing demand. Their goal is simple: make land supply predictable so prices can't spiral out of control. In the US, cities like Minneapolis and states like California have begun loosening single-family zoning. That means duplexes and small apartment blocks can be built in neighbourhoods that once allowed only one house per lot. This opens up supply where people actually want to live. Singapore is taking a completely different approach. There, nearly 90% of households own their homes, thanks to a massive public housing program managed by the Housing and Development Board. The government buys land, builds at scale, and sells apartments directly to citizens at subsidised prices. So yes, this shows that if you treat housing as infrastructure, like roads or schools, you can achieve near universal ownership. Then there are countries tackling speculation instead of supply. Hong Kong and Wales both tax second homes heavily. In Wales, local councils can charge up to 300% council tax premium. Taiwan taxes properties sold within 2 years at up to 45%, discouraging fast flips and speculative buying. And in the Netherlands, some municipalities have banned investors from buying in certain neighbourhoods to keep homes for locals. The US is now exploring a similar idea with the End Hedge Fund Control of American Homes Act. This act would stop hedge funds and other big real estate firms from owning single-family homes altogether. So yes, to fix this crisis we need more homes, but we also need to rethink who's buying them, where they're built, and what kind of economy they're fueling. Because at its core, it's the same old story, a tidal wave of money flowing into a handful of assets and drowning the middle and low-income classes in the process. And unless that imbalance changes, no amount of zoning reform or new construction will make homes truly affordable.